All right, can you hear me now? Look, my bad, didn't have the sound on. Let me go ahead and just redo the intro. I jacked it up. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to the What's Up Titans pod, where we're doing a Victory Tuesday. A Victory Tuesday because you know why? We celebrate this victory all throughout the week because we did a Victory Monday episode yesterday. We're doing a Victory Tuesday episode today, and it's going to be a victory episode all throughout the week, Monday through Friday, even Saturday. Why not? We're winners until we are losers. And I bring videos all throughout the week. You know, I'm doing post-game videos, pre-game videos, everything that's available. I'm doing these ESPN rankings. I do NFL analyst rankings. I do it all. So make sure you go ahead and send a like and a follow because the content is coming. And I'm available on YouTube, TikTok, and X. So make sure you follow me on all three platforms. Now, for the power rankings, I haven't looked through anything. All I did was load it up. I seen where the Panthers were ranked right here because it's at the bottom. They're ranked 32. I'm not sure where the Tennessee Titans rank. I haven't looked at it. But currently, right now, there are 9 teams in the NFL that have only 2 wins on the season. So we could be anywhere. We're typically bottom 3 when it comes to these ESPN rankings. But who knows? Because we finally got a dub on the Patriots. Now, next week, we reverse the Chargers. Maybe we can continue that momentum on to next week. But right now, the Carolina Panthers, they're sitting in at 32, right? They're 32nd in the league. They did get a victory over them Saints, who's been horrible this year, right? They got 2 dubs on the season at the beginning and have lost every game since then. But the Carolina Panthers are currently the worst team in the league according to ESPN. And hey, a lot of people agree with that. They're not looking very good. But I'm glad Bryce Young finally had a little positivity in this league because he's been struggling since he entered the league. You know, it looks like he lost all confidence. Everything he had at Alabama that he built up is all gone. Hey, and Honorably Stone, look, I appreciate the comment. I did not know my sound wasn't working. I appreciate the comments. If you're watching right now, go ahead and send comments down below. It helps the channel. I read every single comment, and go ahead and like the video. Next, at 31, the Las Vegas Raiders. They lost to the Bengals 41-14. So they're struggling. They're another 2-win team. Like I said, we got 9 of them. But I got to say, with the Raiders, you know, they got Brock Bowers. I was a big fan of Brock Bowers in college. I was hoping the Tennessee Titans would get him, but we didn't. But this man is dominating the league as a tight end. And, you know, unfortunately, the Tennessee Titans, we draft linemen all the time. But it would have been nice to get a playmaker like Brock Bowers. Over at 30 is the team we beat, so you know we're ahead of them right now. They were at 29 last week. Now they dropped to 30 because they lost to the Tennessee Titans, and they are at 2-7, the Patriots. I do like their quarterback, Drake May. He did look electrifying. I did not expect him to be as mobile as he was. This man went out there and he looked like Lamar Jackson. It was wild how much he ran over us. But they're looking like they have an upside. They do look good, and they have their future quarterback as long as he can continue to play and develop. And they're not, you know, trying to rush him like they're doing some of these QBs. They did let him sit on the bench for a little bit behind Brissett, and that's the way, you know, they used to do it back in the day. They didn't expect quarterbacks to come out there as a rookie, being 20, 21, 22 years old, coming into the league and starting instantly, you know. You know, you've seen it with Brett Favre. They tried doing it with Jordan Love, and letting these quarterbacks sit for a little bit before they get out there and get their feet wet. Next, we got the New Orleans Saints. Like I spoke about them, these guys have been dropping in the rankings every week. Week 1 and 2, dominating teams. Then they just did a 360. You know, their head coach just got fired. They fired him after this loss to the Panthers. The organization couldn't believe it. They lost 23-22. They're another 2-win team, 2-7. They dropped from 24 all the way to 29. At one time, I think they were up around like number 10. They're constantly falling in the rankings. So that is a tough loss for them. I don't know how their season's going to go since they fired their head coach. But Alvin Kamara, he's looking pretty good for him. He's out there always making plays. He's their one all-star on the team. You know, they have Derek Carr. I saw a stat with Derek Carr right now where he's at in his career. He's like the most losingest quarterback to play. And I think he beat most of his brother's records for the most losses as an NFL starting quarterback, you know, in the amount of years they played which is kind of tough. Next, we finally made it to the Tennessee Titans. We jumped up from 31 to 28 with this dub over the Patriots, 20-17. Hopefully we can ride this wave. I'm not saying we're going to make the playoffs or anything wild like that. We're not going to do anything spectacular, but hey, we finally got a win. I know a lot of fans wanted us to lose last week, and I thought we was gonna lose, but I was like, coming into the week, if there's any games we're gonna win, it's either gonna be against the Patriots or it's gonna be against them Jaguars. When we verse them twice this year, we might split wins with them. But it's nice to see Coach Callahan get a dub. You saw the post-game locker room when he was in there. Team was fired up. Callahan was fired up. They were excited to get a dub finally. We need that winning culture in Tennessee. That's the only way to build it. I don't know how much is going to hurt our draft stock right now. There's a lot of teams fighting for that, the top 5 picks right now, because there's 9 teams with only 2 wins currently. I know I keep saying it, but it's true. There's 9 teams at the bottom right now. And then with those 9 teams, we got 2 other teams with 3 wins. Hey, we got a comment right now from Gorilla with an idea question. What is this live? This live right now is a ESPN Power Rankings review, right? I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. We're seeing where the Tennessee Titans were. We're going to go through all 32 teams. We're up to 28. We just made it to the Tennessee Titans. And this is the What's Up Titans Fans pod, where we bring content all throughout the week, Monday through Friday. I appreciate the comment. Go ahead and send more if you got them. We're here to talk. He said, I'm texting. You're texting? Okay, that's pretty cool, brother. Hey, go ahead and text away. Send the comments, So that's about it for the Tennessee Titans. Oh, you're Texas. You're a Texas fan. Got it. Texans fan. Hey, we don't like the Texans, but they're looking pretty good with Stroud. I know they're up at the top, even though they did lose last week. But right above us, we have the New York Giants. They're another 2-win team. You voted? Did I vote? No, I did not vote. Hey, look, but you need to go vote. I'm just saying. I don't want to get political on the channel because people get wild with their political views. But, hey, go ahead. Get your voice heard. Go vote. It's what everybody, your vote could be the difference. I know I'm not voting, but it's because I live in a different state than what I'm registered to vote, so it's complicated and everything like that. So, I did not go vote. Hey, what about the Yankees? Hey, I do not watch baseball, unfortunately. I'm really like a 2-sport team type of guy. I go with football with the Tennessee Titans, and then I watch hockey. I watch the Predators. And then, in college football, I like the Tennessee Volunteers. And the Volunteers are looking good this year. But no, I don't watch baseball. Tennessee don't have a baseball team, even though I know a lot of people like the Braves around here. But, I don't really follow baseball like that. But yeah, the Giants 2-7. They lost to the Commanders 27-22, and they went up in the rankings even with a loss. They went from 28 to 27. That shows how bad it is. Yeah, it's football, not baseball. I don't know about the Yankees with football. I mean, that must not be the NFL, brother. Let's see, the Jacksonville Jaguars 2-7. Now, 2-7, lost to the Eagles, 28-23. Look, we don't like the Jaguars. They did go up in the rankings from 30 to 26, even after getting a loss. But, it was to the Eagles. A lot of people expect the Eagles to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars are not that good. Sunshine's having a tough year right now. So, hey, luckily, they're in our division. Our division, the AFC South looks very bad right now. So, we're going to have a lot of AFC South teams at the bottom, except for the Texans. Then Cleveland. They're way ahead of us, which is a surprise. They went from 26 to 25. They're 2-7. They lost 27-10 to the Chargers. That's even with Jameis Winston at QB. He can't even save the Browns right now. And that, a lot of people, they don't like Deshaun Watson, for what he did. And he's had a tough couple years ever since he got that guaranteed money with the Browns. And they're not looking that much better even without him on the field. Even though Winston did get the win the week before, he couldn't win this week. It is what it is. We got more comments up ahead. We got which is better, Eagles or Chicago Bulls? Which is better, Eagles or Chicago Bulls? You talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and you talking about Chicago Bulls, which is basketball? You're doing 2 different sports. I'm not sure what you mean there. Hey, Skibidi, whatever. Ash, hey, appreciate the comment. Not sure what that word is. I appreciate it, though. And accidentally looped it. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't watch basketball, so I don't know much about the Bulls. If you're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, they are a good franchise. They have A.J. Brown, which I hate the fact that they do. But they do. They have A.J. Brown. Next, we're talking the New York Jets. We're finally getting to the 3-win teams. Yes, they beat the Tennessee Titans earlier in the season. Aaron Rodgers, he's up and down. He's not that MVP status Aaron Rodgers. They beat the Texans 21-13, which I'm glad they beat the Texans because the Texans are only, I think, 4 games ahead of us. So if we were to turn it around and we were to all of a sudden get on a winning streak, Will Levis came back. He proved he was the franchise guy. We could end up passing the Texans. I mean, it's a lot of hopes and dreams out there. You know, a lot of fairy dust wishing, right? Then we got some more comments. Honorably Stoned in the comment section. He called them the doo-doo birds. Bucks better be in the top 10. Hey, you never know. I mean, they did just lose on Monday Night Football, but it was to the Kansas City Chiefs, who we know the refs helped out throughout the game. We saw the videos and everything of number 74, their tackle, jumping on almost every snap to try to get a head start, but they don't call it, Then they said, which is better, Eagles or the Balls? The Bulls. Okay, I see the correction. Hey, I don't watch basketball, so I'm going to have to say the Eagles because, the Bulls aren't an NFL team. So, yeah, the New York Jets sitting at 3-6. They did move up from 27 to 24 with that dub over the Texans. I'm surprised the Texans lost because the Texans are a legit team, which I hate to admit because they're a division rival. Next, we're talking about the Miami Dolphins, 2-6. They made it to number 23. They lost to the Bills, 20-27. Josh Allen's having a year. But so far, Tua's been back for 2 weeks, and within these 2 weeks, they haven't gotten a dub yet. They're sitting at 2-6. They remain at 23. The Dolphins, I thought once Tua came back, he would revitalize this team, but it doesn't look like it's working. So, hey, it is what it is. Next, we got them boys, the Dallas Cowboys, sitting at 3-5, another 3-win team. They lost to the Falcons 27-21. You saw Prescott on the sideline. He, if you can read lips, I mean, there's many things out there that helps you read lips, but he was out there and he said, we effing suck. He knows they suck. They always have those high expectations, but it's not working out this year. And the Falcons, they look good. Kurt is a good QB. You see him making adjustments at the line. I saw a thing where when they were near their goal line and they brought 7 for the blitz. He signaled his runner back to go up there, cover the blitz, did outstanding job, got the ball out quick. I mean, Kirk Cousins showing his veteran presence. He is a leader, and the city loves that man. But Dallas Cowboys, everybody's regretting Dak Prescott right now and everything he brings to the team because they're not looking good with all of them playmakers they have right now. The Cowboys have a ton of playmakers, and the team's only got 3 wins. Next, another AFC South rival, them Indianapolis Colts. They lost to the Vikings 21-13. That's after they ended up benching Richardson because Richardson, he takes breaks during the game, right? He taps himself out of the game. He gets tired. The team isn't behind him. They done moved on. They brought Flacco in. They're 4-5. Hey, we had another comment by Sewell Essen, but guess what? It says message retracted. Not sure what that means. I'm not sure if you just took it out or they took it away. Not sure, but hey, appreciate the comment anyway. You tried, brother. You tried. That's all that matters these days, right? Next, we're talking about the Chicago Bears. They're sitting at 20. This is another team that beat us. We're talking old painted nails. They're 4-4, but they lost to the Cardinals 29-9. And it's surprising. Aren't the Cardinals on a couple-game win streak now? And that's after Call of Duty came out. I was for sure that Kyler Murray was going to go on a losing streak, Because once Call of Duty comes out, he typically plays that. He doesn't play football no more. But they still coming out winning. They put up 29 points. Bears dropped from 15 to 20. They have an upcoming game against the Patriots, so they'll probably get that turnaround because, the Patriots, they let us beat them. So who knows? After that, at 19, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, 4-5. They put the beat down on the Raiders, but you saw the Raiders. What were they ranked at? Like 31? They're horrible, but they beat the Raiders 41-24, went up from 22 to 19 with 4 wins. Joe Burrow, you can't count these boys out. I know they had a rough start to the season, but Joe Burrow's having an excellent season. It's just his surrounding cast and his defense that's holding them back. But then, they always have the opportunity to turn things around. They just play in a difficult division, one of the hardest divisions in the NFL right now. After that, at 18, we got the Seattle Seahawks, 4-5. They lost to the Rams 26-20 in overtime. Those overtime losses are tough, but it made them drop 4 spots in the rankings from 14 to 18, all because they lost to the Rams in OT. I mean, too bad the NFL doesn't do OTLs like college, like hockey. Maybe you wouldn't drop so far. Where's the OTLs at, right? Then we got the Denver Broncos, 5-4. They lost to the Ravens. The Ravens, oh my gosh, I hate to admit how good they are because, look, if you're a fan of this channel, on this channel, we hate the Ravens. We hate them to death. They're almost like one of those teams. I almost hate them as much as our division rivals. There's only 4 teams I don't like in the NFL, and the Ravens is one of them. Then you got the Texans, the Colts, and the Jags, right? So 4 teams I don't like. But the Ravens, they're good. I mean, they got Derrick Henry. I'm glad Derrick Henry's doing well for them. But they stomped the Broncos 41-10, which made the Broncos only drop 1 spot in the rankings, which is understandable because it did go against the Ravens. So it ain't like they lost to a scrub team. They lost to an actual good team. But Bo Nix, he was having a good season. And they look like they have a bright future with Sean Payton as their head coach, which was a little sus last year when they had Russell Wilson. But it looks like the Broncos are turning things around, even though they did lose last week. Oh, we finally got to them Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We made it to them. I know Honorably Stone's been looking for it. He thought they were going to be in the top 10. But no, they are at rank number 16. They went from 13 to 16 because they lost to the Chiefs, who I already know is the number 1 team on this list because they've been number 1 on the list all season. And they just got a dub. So I know the Chiefs are still going to be number 1. I only have to scroll up there to find out. It's spoiler alert, right? So the Bucs, they are 4-5, and even though they were at one point looking like the best team in the NFC South, but now it looks like the Atlanta Falcons are the best team. The Bucs are right behind them because the Saints are trash, and so are the Panthers. But yes, they were 13 after their loss. They got their upcoming game against the 49ers, it looks like, which is going to be a tough game for them because the Niners are a good team. So you never know. The Bucs could end up with another L, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that, Stone, but hey, it is what it is. The Niners are a good team. After that, we got the Rams, who are ranked above the Bucs, even though they're just 4-4. They ended up beating the Seahawks 26-20 in OT, which brought them up from rank 19 all the way to 15. Hey, and they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Their roster is not that different. I mean, I know they have a few pieces that's left, but they're still a good roster. But they're in a tough spot, a tough division, and currently they're sitting at 4-4, even with Matthew Stafford back there doing everything he can. Then we just talked about them. The Niners, they're 4-4. They just had their bye. They had a late bye all the way at week 9. The Tennessee Titans had theirs at like week 4. We had the first bye that was available. And it's showing their most important game is at the Bucs. So this game is important for both teams because right now they're both 4-win teams. They both need this dub to try to elevate their team to the top of their division. So 4 wins. That is tough, but hey, I like what Brock Purdy's doing. Christian McCaffrey, he is back from his Achilles injury, so we'll see how they do. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers, 5-3. They beat the Browns 27-10. Hey, that's who we verse next week. If you're a Tennessee Titans fan, hey, go ahead and send a Titan up in the chat if you are. But the Chargers, 5-3, we versed them next week. They blew out the Browns 27-10. Herbert's having an outstanding season. Oh, Stone said we're going to hurt McCaffrey. Hey, he is injury prone. Obviously, we don't promote violence on this channel. But yeah, he is injury prone, and he may end up getting hurt, So, I mean, he seems to be hurt almost every time he touches the ball. That's if they can touch him. He's very elusive. He's an elusive guy. Next, the Arizona Cardinals. They are sitting at rank 12. They jump up from 18 all the way to 12, 5-4. Like I said, I think they won back-to-back weeks. They ended up blowing out the Bears 29-9. Call of Duty is finally helping Kyler Murray, and they are looking good. They're almost in the top 10. You never know. They could end up doing that next week. I'm not sure who they play next week. I'd have to check out the schedule, but they could be a top 10 team coming next week. Next, the Houston Texans. Finally, this is the last team in the NFC South, right? I mean, the AFC South. they started at one point when they were like 5-0. They ended up being like a top 3 team. Now they're all the way down to number 11. As you see, last week they were ranked number 5, and now they're at number 11 because they just keep losing. They lost to the Jets 21-13. I'm glad they're losing. Only 4 games ahead of us, but hey, they have an outstanding roster. CJ Stroud is like what every team looks for. They all start these young QBs. They draft them. They want them to start right away. And typically it's not working out. I mean, you've seen it with Fields. You see it all throughout the league with Sam Darnold and everybody. You had Mitch Trubisky. You see all these young quarterbacks that are like start immediately, and it doesn't work out. You have to let these guys develop a little bit or give them a chance. Peyton Manning wasn't very good his first year. He's one of those examples where he has the record for the most interceptions as a rookie quarterback, and then he ended up being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the NFL. I said one of. I know there's a Bucs fan here who is a Tom Brady fanboy. So, yes, I did say one of, not the greatest of all time. I just got to throw that out there. Next, we got the Atlanta Falcons sitting so we're at the top 10, The Atlanta Falcons 6-3. They beat the Cowboys 27-21. Kirk Cousins reignited the city of Atlanta. They love that man over there. He's doing everything with them. They went up from 11 all the way to 10. Hey, we got McAdoo. Here we go. Oh, you a Falcons fan or what? Well, you got the gold and black hearts. I'm assuming you're a Saints fan. Maybe that's like a sarcastic thing because we made it to the Falcons. But, yes, they do lead the NFC South, number 1 team. They're looking very good with all their onset that they got going on, and they are probably going to be one of the favorites, in the playoffs, unfortunately. Next, we got the Eagles. We finally made it to them Eagles, 6-2. They went up from 10 to 9. They went up in the rankings because they beat the Jags 28-3. But they got all the weapons. I'm not even sure how this team loses games. I'm talking Shaquan Barkley in the backfield, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They are stacked. Jalen Hurts. Their offense is so stacked. There's no reason for these guys to lose games. If they lose it, it's just because they beat themselves. They're one of the best rosters in the league. It says, hey, Steelers. Oh, okay. You one of them Steel boys, buddy. Okay. I don't think we got to the Steelers yet. They must be a top 10 team because I don't remember talking about them at all yet. Hey, Steelers. Okay. I see you, Lamont. Steeler boy. Are you Steeler boy too? We got them Steel boys up in the house today. So we're sitting at now the Packers, right? They lost to the Lions 24-14. Oh, yep, he's saying, let's go. He got that black and gold. He's one of them Steel boys. You never know. Black and gold could be Saints, could be Steelers, either way. But, yeah, the Packers lost to the Lions 24-14. But the Lions are one of the better teams in the NFL. I think they only have like 1 loss on the season. They're doing outstanding. But the Green Bay Packers dropped from number 4 all the way to 8, even though they lost to one of the better teams in the NFL. They dropped 4 slots, which is kind of far when you're losing to like one of the top teams in the NFL. Oh, we finally made it to them Steel boys, 6-2. They went from 8 to 7, even though they were on a bye week. So they didn't even get to play. But it seems like they do good no matter who they have at quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Fields, if it's Wilson. It don't matter. They're doing good all the way around. He said, "We the North." That's what McAdoo said. Hey, it's going to be between y'all and them Ravens. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens are an outstanding team. The Steelers are doing very well. It's going to be, both of y'all are going to make the playoffs. Let's be honest here. So it's whoever's going to basically win between you two, but it doesn't matter because y'all both going to make the playoffs. Next, the Minnesota Vikings at number 6, 6-2. They beat the Colts 21-13. They went from 9 to 6 because they beat the Colts. Sam Darnold resurrected his career. He's back. He's making the team look good, but it's really that defense. They have a good defense right now, but all the way at number 6 with only 2 losses on the season. No one thought that coming in. At least I didn't. If you did, let me know because I did not think the Vikings are going to be this good coming into the season, but hey, we all make mistakes. And real quick, as we get into the top 5, go ahead and send a like this way. Go ahead and send it. It helps the channel out. It gets people here. Help your boy out. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. I bring videos all throughout the week. All right, sitting at number 5, the Washington Commanders. Brother, what a surprise were these guys. I'm telling you. Hey, we got a Lions fan over here, too. Dylan Elliott. He said, "One pride." I see that lion head. I see the blue and white, baby. Jefferson clutch on Sunday. Oh, yep, you know it. And then, hey, Lions, hey, we got that Lion pride. We haven't reached them yet, so you know they're in the top 5, one of the better teams in the NFL. But right now, we're on the Washington Commanders, 7-2. No one expected that coming into the season. Jaden Daniels having the season he's having is quite amazing. You know, they beat the Giants 27-22. They went up from 7 to 5, and they are looking like the better team in their division. And as long as Jaden Daniels stays on track, he's going to be, Rookie of the Year. I mean, there's no one else having a season like he's having. He's definitely going to win the Rookie of the Year. We finally made it to the Ravens, and remember, we hate the Ravens. But if you're a Ravens fan, I love you being here. But we hate the Ravens. Just because I hate your team doesn't mean I hate you. But they are 6-3 right now. They beat the Broncos 41-10. They beat them down. That's a beat down. They went from 6-4. And like I said, they got Lamar. They got Derrick Henry. Man, I love Derrick Henry. I wish he was still a Titan, even though Pollard's doing good for us. But it was a mutual agreement. He didn't want to be here. The Titans were, ready to move on, modernize their team. But right now he's dominating with the Ravens. They got that multiple run game going on with the QB and the runner back. Dang, all of that number 4. Next, we got the Bills, who we versed. They beat the doors off of us, I'm telling you, brother. But they beat the Dolphins 30-27. They stayed where they were. They didn't move up because I already know who's ahead of them, and who's ahead of them didn't lose, right? So these teams are just staying where they are with the top 3. Buffalo Bills 7-2. Josh Allen having another great year. He got all the weapons around him, sitting at number 3. Only 2 losses on the season. Here we are. We finally made it. We are right here for you, Dylan. 7-1, the Detroit Lions. Oh, I see Chargers fan over here. Hey, Chargers. Hey, Cass, guess what? We verse you next week. Titans play the Chargers next week. We go against Herbert. But, yeah, Detroit Lions, 7-1. They beat the Packers, right? 24-14. Man, dude, I'm not a Lions fan, but I love their head coach, man. That head coach they got, Dan Campbell, he's outstanding. I'm hoping our team turns things around like he did. What he did with that organization brought him, like his first season, he was only a 3-win head coach, right? His team had 3 wins. Now, all of a sudden, he built the culture. He built the roster. He got everything. That team is Dan Campbell, and that's what I'm hoping the Tennessee Titans can emulate since we got our new head coach, because, it took him a minute. It took Dan Campbell a little bit to develop his roster and build it to his liking, and that's what every team wants to do. And right now, the Detroit Lions are that model team. I know it took them like 20 years or so to get to this point, but they're absolutely a great organization right now. And, man, I hope we can get to that one day. Dylan Elliott, we got another comment that Dan Campbell is tough. Yeah, he is. Dan Campbell is the greatest and worst thing that happened to my mental health. Yeah, hey. They're outstanding, though. That really is something that every team wants, a coach to come in there, change the culture, and make the team theirs. But they got that dub sitting at number 2 right now. Cass said the Lions and the Ravens would be a great Super Bowl matchup. Yeah, it would. Hey, if that was the case, I would 100% go for the Detroit Lions because I hate the Ravens. So, yes, I would find anything I have that's blue and white and wear it. You know what I'm saying? I would be supporting the Lions all day in that scenario. Then sitting at number 1, which is the team that no one really wants to go to the Super Bowl. The team that everyone loves to hate, only because the NFL, pushes them so hard, because they got Taylor Swift behind their back. They have Patrick Mahomes with his frog voice doing everything. They're ranked number 1 right now in the ESPN Power Rankings. They are undefeated. They beat the Bucs in overtime, 30-24, because they got the ball first in overtime. But they are undefeated. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. And they do have an upcoming game that's going to be tough. It shows their most important game for when they verse the Bills. I hope the Bills finally get to them because I don't want to see the Chiefs go undefeated. You start getting this late in the season, they start talking about before it was 16-0, and now it's going to be the 17-0. Can they be the first team to do it? And if they do it right now with everything that's happened, you see the false starts they're getting. The refs aren't calling anything on them. I know I sound like a hater, but we don't want the Chiefs to go undefeated, right? We got some more comments. He is the 4th and short to go king, talking about Dan Campbell. Then my golf undefeated against Mahomes, and then Kermit the quarterback. Yes, hey, So I didn't know that. If Jared Goff is undefeated against Mahomes, that is a very interesting stat. I appreciate it, brother. And then Kermit the quarterback, yeah, he does. He sounds like Kermit the Frog. And then Grant Q, Broncos country, one pride. Broncos country's one pride. All right, brother. Hey, Broncos country, they're what I think they were somewhere in the teens in the rankings. So at least you're dedicated. We're all dedicated in here to our fan bases. McAdoo, Russell Wilson played great against the Chiefs. Hey, that's good to hear because hopefully teams can beat the Chiefs. I don't want them to be undefeated. That's the last team that I would want to go undefeated at this time. We would never hear the end of it. Grant Q, real quick, going to give the Chiefs the first L next week. Hey, I hope so. I'm right there with you. We need the Chiefs to get some L's because they are sitting too high. They're on that high horse. We don't want that. But look, this sums it up for the episode. I appreciate all the comments, everyone here. I see everyone here. Just make sure you go ahead and send a like this way, subscribe, all that stuff. Keep the comments coming. I post videos all throughout the week. There'll be more lives happening, especially on Friday, because Friday I do a pregame show. Hey, Dylan Elliott right now saying he loves the stream, bro. Dude, I appreciate the comments, It all helps out. I'm new to this as well. I started the channel right before the season started, so, everything's new. I appreciate everything. Thanks, bless you. Hey, I appreciate that too, McAdoo. And like I said, go ahead and leave comments to your feelings about all your teams that you like down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby.